Hello and welcome back to the channel. This story coming to us courtesy of Forbes, and that is about the Flash star Ezra Miller. Now, of course, you know about his many hijinks that he's been getting up to for the last several years. And these hijinks have escalated over the last year until he ended up getting arrested several times and was made to apologize to the leadership at Warner Brothers Discovery. With that in mind, let's get into this story about the Flash star Ezra Miller pleading not guilty to burglary and facing up to 26 years in prison. Ezra Miller, who is starring in next year's Warner Brothers film The Flash, pleaded not guilty Monday to charges of stealing liquor from a neighbor in Vermont, part of a series of run-ins with the law and strange behavior for the actor this year. In August, 30-year-old Miller was charged with a felony count of burglary into an occupied dwelling and a minor charge of petty larceny after breaking into a neighbor's home in Stamford, Vermont, and stealing bottles of liquor. If convicted, Miller could face up to 26 years in prison and up to $2,000 in fines. Miller accepted court-imposed conditions of no contact with his neighbors and not being able to enter their home. The neighbor, who is a longtime friend of Miller's, told police at the time that Miller appeared to be behaving in an odd and erratic manner and seemingly having a mental health episode. The neighbor told authorities who responded to the alleged burglary that they were now uneasy because Miller's behavior has become unpredictable and because Miller owns multiple firearms. Now, footage from the home's surveillance system showed Miller walking out of the house with 3 liquor bottles in hand. But when questioned about this, Miller told the police they went to the neighbor's home to borrow cooking ingredients. That sounds a little bit suspicious. I don't think borrowing includes breaking and entering, and I don't think borrowing includes taking without permission. Borrowing means you go over to your neighbor, you knock on the door, they answer, and you ask, hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar or whatever it is you need? Not you break a window, bust in the house, and run off with 3 bottles of liquor because you've run out and you're too drunk to go to the liquor store. Now, it's undetermined whether this case will affect Miller's role in The Flash, which is scheduled to hit theaters in June of 2023. I would say it's not going to impact him. He's already got the role. It's already planned for release. All the filming is done now. He's done all of his, supposed mea culpas. And I think everybody at Warner Brothers Discovery is actually okay with this because they like the way that the movie tested with audiences. Zaslav is happy with it now, seemingly, after some reshoots, and I think it's full steam ahead. And especially for a movie that cost $200 million to make, they're not going to be canceling that movie. And I honestly think that's probably on the low end now. This movie is probably pushing, well over $200 million, given all of the delays and all of the reshoots. So let's just quickly go over all the things that Miller is alleged to have done. For example, he was arrested twice in Hawaii, once for getting into a fight, again, allegedly, at a karaoke bar, and once for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman at a party. Then a couple that he was staying with took out a restraining order with him because he allegedly threatened to bury them, saying, I will bury you and your slut wife. 2 years earlier than that, a video clip of him came out in Iceland showing him allegedly strangling a woman. In addition to that, a mother and a 12-year-old child were granted a temporary harassment prevention order after he allegedly got into a verbal altercation with them. He has a protective order against him, accusing him of psychologically manipulating, physically intimidating, and endangering the safety and welfare of a child. And lastly, there was a situation where a mother and her 3 young children were living on his Vermont farm, a situation which the father described as unsafe, considering that they were living there with multiple guns lying around on the property.
Guns. Lots of guns.
and an unlicensed cannabis farm. On August 15th, shortly after being charged in the Vermont burglary, Miller announced treatment for complex mental health issues and apologized for past behavior. Last week, Insecure star Issa Ray called Miller's string of incidents and the reaction to them a, quote, microcosm of Hollywood. I like this part right here because at least someone is speaking up about the fact that people like Ezra Miller get away with things that they should not get away with, using the actor as an example of how the entertainment industry protects abusers. And I love that Miller is being called out here as an abuser because, in my opinion, that is the case. Now, there's this person who's a repeat offender who's been behaving atrociously, and as opposed to shutting them down and shutting the production down, there's an effort to save the movie and them, Ray said in an interview with Elle magazine. So, look, here's my thoughts on this. Like, this guy broke into someone's house, clearly, and stole from them, clearly, and now is facing 26 years in prison and has pleaded not guilty. I just don't understand this. I just don't get it at all. I don't understand how these individuals are able to get away with this. It's unconscionable that not only Hollywood bends over backwards, but all of these courts in states all around the United States bend over backwards to accommodate people like this just because they have money. It's disgusting and it needs to stop. In my opinion, if Miller had pled down to something, I think I would have been okay with that. But having the nerve to declare innocence in this case, man, it just pisses me off. And I honestly hope Miller ends up getting prison out of this because someone needs to teach this person a lesson. Someone needs to actually stand up and correct this behavior and show this individual that actions have consequences. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? Should Miller go to prison? Or, should Miller get off as usual, get away with breaking and entering and petty larceny? Let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, you want to continue to smash the narrative, then please click the like, share, and subscribe buttons. We're currently pushing for 1,000 subscribers. If you're enjoying the content, then please do subscribe because it helps. That's all I have for now, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.